Update 2. Dad moves in, soon-to-be bride gets pregnant, and she demands I leave the house because she needs my room. I tell her, lady, I own the house. I knocked, but you weren't home. I thought you wouldn't mind. It looks so much better now, don't you think? Dad appeared from the kitchen like he'd been waiting for this conversation. What's the problem? She was trying to help. Maybe you should be grateful instead of starting arguments. When I said she went through my personal space without asking, Jennifer jumped in with that preschool teacher voice, explaining that this was a shared living space and we all needed to be considerate of each other. My room was visible from the hallway and frankly, it was bringing down the whole energy of the house. I pointed out that it was my room. Dad's jaw tightened. We all live here and we all need to contribute to making it a pleasant environment. Jennifer stepped forward with this wounded expression, saying she was just trying to help make this place feel more like a home for everyone. She was sorry if I felt like she overstepped, but maybe we could work together to find solutions that work for the whole family. I told her I didn't want her help. I wanted her to stay out of my room and stop moving my shit around. Watch your tongue, kid, Dad demanded. Number 1, you people better mind your business and stop thinking you run this place. Enough. You need to apologize to her now. I looked at Jennifer, who was standing there with this perfect victim expression, waiting for me to fold. Then I looked at Dad, who clearly expected me to back down and play along. No. What did you just say? I said no, I'm not apologizing for being upset. Dad's face went purple. I was being completely unreasonable. Jennifer was trying to build a life here, and I was acting like a spoiled brat. Jennifer put her hand on his arm in this supportive gesture and suggested maybe we should all take a step back and cool off. She never meant to cause problems. She just wanted us all to be happy together. She was good at playing the peacemaker while Dad did her dirty work. I told them I was going to Ian's and walked out. When I got back that night, I found a note on my door, house rules for respectful cohabitation with a list of expectations including 24-hour notice before having guests over, quiet hours from 9 p.m. to 7 a.m., and shared responsibility for common areas. Interesting. 3 weeks later, I'm minding my own business on a Tuesday night, trying to write a paper for my class. Dad's been home for exactly 2 hours, and she's already got him moving furniture around because the flow isn't right. They disappear into his room for about an hour, then call me into the living room for a family meeting. I'm thinking maybe they're finally going to announce they're moving in together officially. Boy, was I wrong. Jennifer delivers the news like she just announced she'd been crowned Miss Universe. I'm pregnant. Dad's beaming like he just won the lottery. Jennifer's glowing with this smug satisfaction that screams, I've locked this down. Hunter and Paisley are sitting there like they've been coached on the appropriate response. And I'm thinking, well, there goes the neighborhood. That's great. Congratulations. But Jennifer's not done. She's got this whole speech prepared, delivered with the kind of fake sweetness that makes your teeth hurt and the entitlement of someone who thinks she just won the property lottery. We've been talking about the future, she starts, and I can already tell this isn't going to be good. With the baby coming, we're going to need to make some major changes around here, more space, better organization, a proper nursery, adult living arrangements. Dad's nodding along. So, we were thinking maybe it's time for you to experience some independence. You know, like other people your age living as adults. Dad jumps in with the confidence of a man who thinks he runs the place. Most people your age moved out. It's time you have some responsibility. You want me to move out? I asked. Jennifer jumped in with this practiced answer. There's this wonderful apartment I have in the city. I don't go there anymore, Spice. I'm spending most of my time here. You know, I can rent it to you at a significant discount. Way below market rate. When I ask how much of a discount, she explains that market rate for that area is about $1,500, but she'd only charge me $1,200. Really a steal for someone in my situation. And what happens to this place? Well, Jennifer's got great ideas for making it more functional for a growing family. The baby will need a nursery and the kids need proper rooms. Your room would be the perfect nursery space. My room. The room I've lived in since I was 12. But wait, there's more. Also, Jennifer continued, my mother has agreed to move in temporarily to help with the baby. She'll need the guest room. I look at Dad, waiting for him to say something. Anything? Nope. He's just sitting there nodding along to everything she says. So, I decided to play along to see how far they'll go. That's interesting. I'll think about it. Jennifer's smile gets a lot tighter. Great, but you know, waiting for too long would be limiting everyone involved, so think fast. Okay. I texted Ian as soon as they went back to their room about needing an emergency drink run. He showed up 20 minutes later, took one look at my face. Dude, you look like someone just shit in your cereal. Tell me about it. I told him everything. Classic, he said. Nothing says family values like kicking the owner to make room for grandma. 2 weeks after the pregnancy announcement, I came home from my afternoon classes to find Jennifer in my room with cardboard boxes, packing up my stuff like I'd already agreed to move out. Not just standing in the doorway this time, actually in my room, going through my closet, wrapping up my mom's pictures and newspaper clippings, and boxing up books like she was preparing for a yard sale. When I asked what the heck she was doing, she looked up with this bright smile like I just walked in on her organizing a charity drive. Hi, sweetie. I'm just helping you get started with packing. Your father and I decided it would be better to get you moved sooner rather than later. So, I thought I'd give you a head start. My father and I decided. Nobody asked me what I decided. She kept that sickeningly sweet tone. Well, honey, you've had 2 weeks to think about it. And really, what's there to think about? This is obviously the best solution for everyone. She held up one of my mom's framed pictures like she was examining it for flaws. Besides, some of this stuff probably needs to be updated anyway. You can't hold on to childhood things forever. Put that down and get out of my room now. Now, she said in that condescending preschool teacher voice. There's no need to be unpleasant. I'm trying to help you transition to adult living. This is exciting. Your own place. Real independence. When I repeated my demand for her to get out, Jennifer sat down the picture and straightened up. For the first time since I'd met her, the mask completely dropped. Listen, little boy, she said, her voice sharp enough to cut glass. I'm pregnant with your father's child. This house needs to work for a real family, not some overgrown teenager who can't handle the idea of growing up. You can either pack your stuff like an adult, or I can have your father explain to you why this isn't negotiable anymore. This isn't your house. You don't get to pack my stuff. Actually, she said, picking up another box and continuing like I hadn't spoken. Your father and I have discussed this extensively. We've already paid the deposit on the apartment and you're moving out this weekend. The movers come Monday to pick up your things. Movers. They'd hired movers for my stuff without asking me. When I said they couldn't do this, she told me they already did. The lease is signed. The deposit is paid. And frankly, you should be grateful we're handling all the logistics for you. Most parents would make their children figure this out on their own. That's when Dad walked in and I could tell from his expression that he knew exactly what was happening. This wasn't Jennifer going rogue. This was their plan. Dad, what the hell is this? We decided it's better to just rip the band-aid off. You've been dragging your feet on this decision, so we made it for you. You made it for me. Dad used that patronizing tone he perfected over the years. Look, this is happening whether you like it or not. You can either be mature about it and work with us, or you can throw a tantrum like a child. But either way, you're moving out this weekend. I looked between them, Dad standing there like he was delivering some tough love life lesson, Jennifer smirking behind him like she just won the lottery. And they'd obviously planned this whole thing. When I asked what would happen if I refused, Dad's face went hard. Then we'll pack your stuff for you and put it in storage. You're an adult now, and it's time you started acting like one. This house was for families, not overgrown kids who couldn't handle change. Overgrown kids. My own father called me an overgrown kid for not wanting to be evicted from my own house. Jennifer helpfully added that I had until Sunday. The cleaning lady needed time to prepare the room for the nursery furniture delivery. I pulled out my phone and started recording, asking them to say that again about moving me out of my house. Dad's face went red and he told me to put that away. This was a family discussion, not some social media drama.